High Plains Technology Center, turning education and training into workplace success.
Oh, back to school, to prove to Dad that I'm not a fool.
High Plains Technology Center, education at the speed of business. School is now in session.
All right, good Wednesday morning. Taylor Burnett here with you another week. What a wonderful week this is. Kind of last day of January. Kind of a little bit odd with this nice weather, but I've got one of my good guys here on as a guest. He's going to talk about a couple different things. We've got some things that we have coming up, but I really wanted to bring him on, let him introduce himself.
Good morning, Jack Day.
All right. So those that don't know, Jack, what do you do at the school?
Let me think.
I know.
Wind energy instructor.
Okay, so the thing is, I've had you.
Primarily, right?
Yeah, this is the third time I've had you on this school year. I'm probably going to have you on one more time as we talk about the wind applications later on. But,
yeah.
Man, you might be the hostess with the mostest one of these. Maybe I'm not going to be here next week, so do you want to host this next week?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Okay.
We'll see. I mean,
you don't want to go that far?
Well, I mean, I was just here last week with Branson, though, too. So,
okay,
yeah.
All right. So, Jack, I brought him on. So what we're going to first talk about is the event that Jack put on last night and kind of the inception and the reasoning. Those that don't understand, Jack, you love High Plains.
I do, very much.
But what's something you probably...
my other passion is our veterans.
There you go. And I know you talked on the other station, but I wanted to kind of have this because we aren't involved in High Plains, but we kind of are, So talk about why you decided to bring this event to.
Well, I think I make a small correction. I mean, High Plains is very involved,
okay.
Because from superintendent to the school board and and staff. I mean, it takes everybody out there. I mean, we have one program that the instructor's willing to move out a little bit earlier, to make room for the VA and things like that.
And you put Vonda and Anita to work, too.
And I did, yeah. And they do a super job, too. I mean, and Pam's going to be, I think, it's going to be cooking hamburgers and hot dogs for us. So it's everybody pulling. So I certainly appreciate that. But, the inception really was just a few years ago. Just really saw a need. I'm a veteran myself and saw a need for veterans, especially out here in Northwest Oklahoma. Again, I really don't feel like that these guys in Oklahoma City understand what it's like to travel, and so I felt like it might be awesome to put a little burden on them. But just really at the end of the day, it was there's certain people. I mean, people can't travel all the time.
Yes, especially the older veterans,
or even if you're working. I mean,
good point.
You're taking days off, to go travel. So it's a beautiful thing to have them here.
What exactly does the event entail and involve, and what are you exactly kind of doing with that?
So what it entailed was we had the VA and ODVA and the Veterans Benefits Administration was
okay, I was going to say, you're throwing acronyms out there.
Yeah,
so
I know.
So break it down.
Veterans Affairs, Oklahoma
go.
Department of Veterans Affairs. So it was just basically bring a one-stop shop. So they covered claims, travel, which or travel reimbursement, I should say, the MOVE program, My Healthy Vet. So just a plethora. I mean, toxic exposure screenings, ID cards, enrollment. I should say enrollment. I mean, some aren't enrolled.
To get enrolled into the
yeah.
For
So
the event.
they were they were able to get enrolled
yeah.
and get their ID cards and stuff like that. So
your next task will be taking them all the way out to Guyman. You think you can? No, I'm just joking. They think that we're already on the end of the earth as it is here.
Yeah, right.
But the cool thing is
actually they are going out. I mean, ODVA is actually we have a representative that comes here every month. Comes to American Legion once a month to do claims and they've gone as far out as Guyman. So
good because I think at times you're not really joking when you say people from Oklahoma City don't want to travel.
I'm joking.
I know. The funny thing is I held a meeting in Woodward, Oklahoma on purpose for our western side of the state for my counterparts. Not everybody showed up because they think, it wasn't the weather.
No,
The weather was fine.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about an event we have coming up here. We do have to usually worry about the weather. You didn't have to worry about the weather this week. You didn't have to worry about the weather yesterday at all.
It's been amazingly beautiful, huh?
So your passion with this really because you yourself needed some stuff as well. And when you moved to Woodward, what happened at that point in time that you realized real fast?
Yeah.
You were in the Navy until when?
So I retired in 2009.
Okay.
And so just, again, it's just the same obstacles that I know others are. Basically, I was feeling the same thing because let's just be honest. The VA, you may have one. You're going to have your initial appointment, but you're going to have several follow-ups after that. So it's not a one trip. So you might go down and get enrolled. You might get your ID card, and then you're going to have another appointment for something else that you're going to have to return to. So it's not just unlike the event we had was a one-stop shop where you can come in and get
all the different places,
everything done. For the majority.
Yes.
I'm not saying that it's going to be or that everybody was able to get everything done, but man, it's a great start.
Yeah.
And
a point in the right direction.
And a point in the right direction.
Because some of the worries at times are some of the people don't know where to go.
Yeah. Well, and hey, I'm hoping that we had not only veterans but caregivers come out of veterans, and even if you're listening to this now, so we're going to have another one of these.
Okay.
And just make sure that you keep your ears peeled for that. And so if you're a caregiver for a veteran or know a veteran, a lot of them are just afraid to ask questions. I don't know any other way to put it.
Or sometimes too proud.
Especially
veterans.
I throw my hand up. Ego gets in the way sometimes, and sometimes you just don't feel like you may not have had a buddy come home.
Okay.
And so you don't feel like that you made
guilt.
Yeah. Maybe you don't feel like that you've earned that. You absolutely have earned it.
Way to bring the show down.
I know. I'm sorry, but
that's
no,
I know.
Though.
You're right. Because you and I've had those deep discussions,
sure,
and that is 100% right.
Yeah,
you're hearing, that you are going for at times. Really
say what?
Yeah, but you're like, really? Does this? I understand where you're coming from, especially because tell them how many tours you did and different things like that. So,
I did five deployments overseas, and 2 of those were wartime deployments.
What was your longest time on the ship?
So my longest deployment was about 9 months.
9 months. People sacrifice. Let's think of that. The world we live in today is a little different than that world.
That's right. Yeah.
You talk about, just that sacrifice alone. Not very many people built like that.
Well, and as we speak right now, there are people on watch right now.
Yeah. What ship were you on for 9 months?
That would have been Saratoga.
Okay. All right. So
Desert Storm. So
that's a good one to be on then for that long.
Yeah. It was an aircraft carrier.
Yeah, exactly. It's better than a destroyer.
No. I love the destroyer.
Would you want to be on a destroyer for 9 months though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because destroy. That was where for me.
That's action.
That was action. That was my job. As a gunner's mate. It's a warship.
Yeah.
Not that a carrier's not, but
it looks like it's driving a Camaro versus a minivan.
The war and warship with aircraft.
Yeah.
So
that's cool because Jack, what did you do in the Navy?
So I worked on weapon systems.
Yeah. The casings that you have and the things that you've seen are pretty darn cool.
Yeah, I love it.
I'd love to take you. I'd love to go to that World War II museum with you and down in New Orleans one time just to see how excitable you would be as well. So, but yeah, so that's the cool thing. I'm glad you did that, and I agree. The board, Mr. Holt, everybody on board, Pam, Vonda, Anita, those that are just helping nonstop. It's the cool thing about it because Mr. Holt brought it for the board, and the board's like, why would we not?
Right, and I love that.
And that's
so
the cool
appreciative
thing.
Of that. And, we talk a lot about out there how we're family, and it's things like this that we truly are.
And it's taking care of our area once again. And I kudos to you, though, because you saw a vision. It's kind of like that Robots movie, I say, see a need, fill a need. Seriously.
Yeah. Sometimes
you
just taking that first step.
Because I've seen how many days you've had to take off just to go for a crazy appointment. Just for an appointment for 10 minutes sometimes, right?
I'm doing it again Friday.
Okay, so see, it's just nonstop, and it's just kind of sad is what it is, but it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. And thank you for helping that, because this is an underserved thing. Go even contact Jack at the VFW, contact anybody at the VFW also.
Yeah, or American Legion.
Or the American Legion, so those two places. Yep. So
absolutely.
Yeah, because you're at the Legion, not the VFW.
Well, I'm at both.
Okay, all
so I get to be a member of both of them.
That's pretty darn cool. You wear your hat. Which one do you wear?
Well, I've got 2 hats. Okay. For that. And and actually, there's a third one. It's the disabled American veteran. So I know.
See, once again,
Jack of all trades, master of none.
There you go. And one other event that I want to talk about, because it's going to happen next week. We're going to have an event Tuesday and Wednesday at High Plains Technology Center. So Tuesday night, NREL, so it's the National Renewable Energy Laboratories, is putting on an event for any child, any age group of a kid that wants to know more about renewable energy. They came to Woodward because of the guy that's sitting at my left. It's really what it is, because of our wind program and our wind training and everything like that. So they are coming to our place. We're going to host an event. We're going to have different stations, and it's going to start at 5 o'clock on February 6th. There's going to kind of be a come and go event, but we're going to have a station.
We are.
So, and I know how Jack kind of wants to go above and beyond with things. So we're going to have some cool things for these kids to do.
We're going to have some activities, some hands-on.
The best way to learn.
Best way to learn. Absolutely.
Even as an adult, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah. So, I'm always true.
We're going to do that from about 5 to 6 at the different stations. I know Kidwin's going to be out there. We're looking for some other industry to be out there as well. But we're going to have our instructors taking you through different things. Probably get you on a Jacob's ladder. Probably could get you in a harness. This is what it's looking like to be. And then we're going to have different things. And even the Kidwin Challenge, they're going to build different things also. Build a turbine with the blades. It's going to be a cool event. That's going to be the night of the 6th. So then following that up, NREL, which is once again, National Renewable Energy Lab, kind of like NSYNC, just think of it like that. For the longest time, I wanted to say NREL was EN, and I'm like, well, Energy National, but no, it begins with an N. So they are going to host an event on the 7th for adults. So that next night, it's going to start at 5 o'clock as well. And so we're going to have a dinner. They're going to actually cater in a dinner. It's going to talk about one of the bigger black eyes in the renewable energy that is getting fixed and getting remedied. And that's what happens with decommissioning of a site or repurposing a site. The reason why they picked that, guess what we've had? The repower site.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we've actually witnessed that repower site outside of Boiling Springs. What's the name of that site?
Isn't that Oklahoma Wind?
Yeah, Oklahoma Wind. The very first site in the state of Oklahoma. Everybody gets confused all the time. Right. Nope. It's Oklahoma Wind right outside of Woodward, Oklahoma. Yes, so they brought that here because they've actually seen that repower. But they're gonna talk about what to expect as a landowner, what to expect as the property owner next door, what to expect if something is decommissioned, like there's a site that's been sitting vacant outside of Guyman, Oklahoma, that is a cluster right now, and it is a mess. But there are bills and there's actions that are there. They're going to be talking about that side of things, and the expansion of life of the blades. There's repurposing of the blades, repurposing of things that are going on now, and that's the beauty of it. And it's so cool to think that they're going to come to Woodward, Oklahoma.
Yeah, I think that's really awesome.
I really do, because
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
I want to see. I want to learn more about the end of life.
Yeah,
stuff.
because they're on a different level. I mean, they're research. We
had one. You may not even know this. We had one student that hired on with a company out of Amarillo, Texas, that is repurposing.
Okay.
Actually, they're doing blade shredding.
Blade shredding.
Okay. So that's where he decided to start his.
That's interesting.
His journey.
Okay. All right. So. That's a cool process, because this is neat that they chose Woodward, but they're coming. This is the only site in Oklahoma they're coming to. They're not coming to very many sites. They chose Woodward because, and it's a big shout out to Oklahoma Renewable Energy Council as well. But they're the ones they've been to our place a couple different times, and they said, hey, if you're coming to Oklahoma, we know the place you need to come to. So hopefully the weather will cooperate. It looks like it's going to cooperate for that next week, because we can make it fun. But the kids that want to learn the February 6th, that's the neatest thing, because that's where, when we started this trend, it was tough with wind when we first started way back when. It's getting better. It's getting more acceptable. It's getting more well-known. We understand the economic driver that it is in rural Oklahoma, and that's really the coolest thing about it.
Absolutely.
And it's about education. yeah, we know that there's down plays, but guess what? At High Plains Technology Center, we love punching holes in the ground when it comes to throwing a turbine up. Love punching hole in the ground when it comes to getting that oil and gas out of the ground.
Energy all above.
There you
all
go.
the above.
So it's cool. So come out and enjoy that. We're going to hopefully have an article, but hope to see you there next week. So thanks a lot, Jack, for all you do.
It's my pleasure.
Glad to have you on. You're going to have one more show.
I know.
Okay.
Well, probably not. Maybe not one more.
Yeah, well, maybe two.
Oh, maybe two.
At least one.
Okay.
For sure. Okay. All right.
Just the school year, right?
Yeah. Everybody take care, and we'll see you. I won't see you next week. It'll be someone else, but see you in 2 weeks. All right. Take care.